So a while back, I did a video on the shop where I moved in, organized everything, set up all the shelves, all that sort of stuff, went over everything I was putting in here. The thing is, I've been in here now for a while working and realized I left some stuff out. So today, we're fixing that. We're going over the things that I didn't put in the shop and I should have, and today they'll be in there. And if you stay until the end of today's video, we are giving away something everyone should have in their garage, which is one of these right here, a thread checker. Yes, we're doing it again. So stay until the end of the video or just, hit fast forward. And so the first one is actually right here. It's already in here, it's just not really working. So this is a Dr. Pepper vending machine. It is a selective end S48 and it works, or it worked when I put it in here 2 years ago. We should probably check that before we do any work on it, make sure it still refrigerates. But it is a vending machine. And so you might think that's kind of cool to have a vending machine in your shop. The thing is though, this vending machine only dispenses 7-ounce bottles. And the reason for that is there used to be a version of Dr. Pepper. It was known as Dublin Dr. Pepper because it was made in Dublin, Texas. And it was pure cane sugar Dr. Pepper, so not regular sugar. It was a finer, I guess, sweeter sugar. People loved it. So it was made in Dublin for a long time. And I guess at one point they were supposed to stop and they never did. And then one day Dr. Pepper caught on and they kind of shut them down. So Dublin Dr. Peppers are still made now. They're just not made by the bottling plant in Dublin, Texas. They're made by Dr. Pepper itself. The Dublin plant still makes soda. They just make like their own sodas now because they're not allowed to make Dr. Pepper anymore. But the thing is, even if you can get soda for it, that means all you can put in here is 7-ounce bottles of soda. And I would rather have this be a fridge. So that's our goal today, is to turn the vending machine into a fridge. But first we're gonna plug this in to make sure it still works. And so I said we're making a fridge out of this, and you don't have to use a vending machine, but I think something you want in your garage is a garage fridge. I don't care if it's a small dorm fridge, a big fridge your grandmother gave you, anything like that. Just having a fridge in your garage, cold drinks, snacks that have to be refrigerated, good thing to have. So the way this thing works is you have a key right here to unlock this, which is already unlocked, and then you turn the vending dispense knob the wrong way, open this guy up, there's your little coin system, and then we take this Allen wrench that's been welded to a piece of straight bar, and it goes in here. All right, so this is the evaporator right here. You can see on the back right here, this charge line coming in is already getting frosty. It is cold to the touch, so I think this thing still works, which is great. All right, so the plan is this vending unit here is only held in by a few bolts, I'm pretty sure. Like this one's already gone even. And so I think the idea is we're going to take this out. I'm going to make some shelves that go in here. We're gonna have to account for airflow somehow so this fan can circulate the air all in here, and then you have a fridge. The only problem is, so how we just opened all this, you don't want to have to do that every time you go to get a drink or whatever out. So we're gonna have to find some way to make the fridge open without having to do that. And also, she don't close so good or open so good. It's hitting right there. We have to readjust the door also. So there are antique vending machine restoration companies, sites, places you get parts out there, and I looked around for the door seal stuff, and I couldn't find that anywhere. So instead, what I got is some foam weather stripping. So we're gonna use this instead of the door seal because this thing, it's old, it's hard, it's like this isn't gonna seal at all, really. So that's gonna be replaced, and then to make the door open and close, I think what we're gonna do is magnets. Gosh, these are strong. So the plan is probably to put some magnets all along here, or maybe, I mean, this already has screws in it. Maybe I'll just put the magnets on there. And hopefully that will hold the door closed and the weather stripping will seal and that will work. It's already trying to attach itself. And then for shelving, I have some 3/4 inch angle iron here. So what that should allow us to do is we can build a frame to go in there where the vending machine contraption used to be. And then we can build some things to hold little shelves. And then we should be able to sit 1/2 inch plywood into 3/4 inch angle iron. And then we can have a few shelves in here to put stuff on. So I'm going to get started by gutting this thing, and then we'll try and make the door work, and then we will try and make it a fridge. So here's the thing. I didn't really do something wrong, but I did accidentally knock a Topo Chico bottle off the workbench onto the ground, and now I have a big mess to clean up. So I failed to exercise caution in the workplace. So we get to drink blackberry pickle beer to celebrate our failure. Remember we had the orange one before? This one's worse than the orange one. It's more pickle than blackberry. Oh, I gotta clean that up. Now if you look closely, we have almost a fridge. So the hinges, this one, the way it's mounted is kind of crooked, and that's why it was sagging on that corner. The thing is, all these screws right here, they're wood screws into, I don't know, I'm guessing wood, and I would have had to cut the metal and then find some way to repair whatever's under there and then get the hinge right. So instead of doing all that, all I did was I put a washer in there, put a washer on the bottom, raise it up just enough to clear, so now it can open and close without scraping. The frame, I basically just replicated almost exactly what that was doing. So 2 bolts here at the bottom off of this flange right here. You have the, I don't know, shelf unit sitting there. I had to take off some of this inside stuff. It just wasn't gonna clear. So I took that off, and in place of one of the holes, what I did is I just put a screw to secure this side. So that is all in there now. I was originally gonna make the shelves adjustable, but after seeing how well bottles do or, you know, don't fit in here, it's gonna be tight to begin with. So we're just gonna go with static shelves. If I ever wanna make them adjustable, I could just weld some tabs in here, make little shelves to sit in there. But for now, we're just gonna go with static shelves. And so yeah, I had to take some stuff apart, but everything we're doing is reversible. If for some reason I ever wanted to turn this back into a vending machine, there's no new holes or anything in here. Oh, and the magnet. So originally I took off some of these screws. I had 2 magnets on here holding the door closed, and it was just too much. So they're about quarter-sized rare earth elements, and they are super strong. They will pinch your finger, and it hurts if you get it stuck in between the magnet and metal. So what I wound up doing is putting one on the bottom and an existing screw hole, and that one magnet is enough to hold the entire door closed. We got the, I forget what this is, but it's 1/4-inch weather stripping, got it off Amazon. And so whenever it closes, magnet holds it closed, and you got a nice good seal all around the whole thing. So what I need to do now is take this frame back out, paint it, go get some wood to set in here to make the shelves themselves, clean everything up a little bit, and we'll have a fridge. And there you have a vending machine, not fridge. So yeah, we painted the steel here white. The wood just did a stain and then some spar urethane, so it will be waterproof. Then I cut some slits in the back here to allow air to circulate all throughout here. And the way I did the wood, same way I did the camper. First coat of urethane or spar urethane or polyurethane, whatever you're using, it will just soak in. Second coat starts to look pretty good, but then you know what? You weren't very careful, and so you have dust nibs and everything in it. So what you do is you sand everything down with 400 grit, you wet sand it, and then you do your third and final coat of spar urethane, and it comes out super smooth, super glossy. And as soon as this is cool, we'll put some drinks and snacks in there. So that brings us to the second thing I wish I'd put in the shop, which is not in here. I left it in another garage. And that is this right here, a vise. Every garage needs a vise. If you're gonna bang on stuff, if you're gonna heat stuff up, you need something to hold it so you don't burn your hands. You need a vise. And so there's a reason I didn't put this in the shop, and you know, let's take it over there, I'll show you why. And so the reason this didn't make it into the shop before is because I didn't have a good place to mount it. Typically, you're gonna put it on like the edge of a workbench, that way you can get like around it if you need to. But over here on this edge, we have the vending machine now fridge. Don't wanna be working right there with fire or hammers or whatever. On this end, we have a shelf. The shelf will probably be fine, but it's just gonna get in the way. So where I wanted to put it was right here in the middle, but I don't wanna bolt it down there and then to have a vise in the middle of the workbench at all times. So on the video where I organized the shop, I said, hey, what if I put a receiver hitch up under here and then I can mount the vise on something and then slide it in, slide it out. And some of you all said that was a great idea. And then you also said, not only can you put a vise, but you can put things like a bench grinder, a table mounted belt sander, all that sort of stuff. And then whenever you wanna use it, you got your hitch receiver right here, and you can put it in, take it out, put it away. So that is a great idea. The only problem is I still have a problem with it. So what we're gonna do is I got this hitch mount vise plate off Amazon. I'll link to everything we're using here in the description. And the way it works is you mount your vise to this, and then it slides into a 2-inch hitch receiver. The problem is
you still need to put a hitch pin in it to secure it, right? So that's fine, except if I put it out far enough to put the hitch pin in, it's gonna be sticking out from underneath the workbench, and I don't like that. If I put it far enough in so that it's not sticking out from underneath the workbench, then I have to worry about either drilling through this leg or accidentally drilling into my drawer, and then my drawer won't open. So that's not good either. So we have a solution. And that is this guy right here. So this is a ratcheting handle, and so what this does is you screw it into a nut, which I have right here. So this is a M12 by 1.75 pitch, and you screw it down, and then whenever you need to, or if you have an area where you can't go all the way around 360 degrees, you press the button right here, and then you can move the handle around and reset it, and then keep ratcheting. So what we're gonna do is, you could take a hitch receiver, except I like this one. I'm gonna take this piece of steel right here, which is the same exact piece of steel I used to make the hitch holster 2.0. So we know it fits a hitch or a receiver or whatever these are called pretty perfectly. The thing is, we want it to not wobble and stuff, right? So that's why we're gonna be using this handle right here. What I'm gonna do is drill a hole big enough for this guy to fit through, weld the nut on here, and then we'll put the handle on there, and then you can tighten it down wherever you want. So you can put the vise out far, you can put it in close, and then you can tighten it down and it won't rattle around in the hitch receiver or this piece of steel right here. The only bad part is I think I need to put it on this side over here because the drill press has like handles and stuff on this side. And I'm not left-handed, but you know, sacrifices must be made. And there you have a vise in a thing on the workbench that you can hammer on. You can do fiery things with it, and it's pretty sturdy. It's not going anywhere. The handle in here takes only about a half turn to release it, then another half turn to lock it back in, and then it's not going anywhere. So that turned out pretty well, but the best part I think is these handles, they come in packs of 2, right? So guess what I did? I made another one right over here on the welding table. So if I can thread this with one hand, whenever I'm over here welding something and I need to use a vise, I can just take the vise, put it over here too, or like the bench grinder there, we could get another one of those mounts. We could put a bench grinder on it. We could put whatever else on it. You could put stuff here or there, 2 places. So we now have a fridge and a vise in the shop. Now it's time for the third and final thing that I forgot to put in the shop, and kind of a spoiler, it's already in here. It was so good that I couldn't live without it. So this is it right here. It is the hoovered gov, the garage utility vac. So this is a wall-mounted shop vac. I had it in my old garage. I was like, oh, I don't really have room for it in the shop. And then I found myself wanting it all the time. Finally had to bring it over. And it's not just because it's the shop vac, because I also have this shop vac right here. And that's why I thought I didn't want or need the wall-mounted shop vac in the garage. So this is a 16-gallon DeWalt shop vac, and it works just fine. It sucks great. The thing is, Alan makes fun of me all the time for how big it is, and he's kind of right. This thing is huge. It takes up a lot of space. There's really, I mean, I've already filled up all the shop. There's really no room for it. I have to keep it over in the garage side. And just when you're using this thing, it's kind of a bear. This hose is so big and so thick, it's really kind of inflexible, and it's not easy or fun to use. Whereas the wall-mounted shop vac, it has a 30-foot long hose. So not only is it like super long, but it's also smaller, which I guess is okay, but it's also super flexible, easy to use. You can hook it up to your tools. That you can put a vacuum on, you know, and it'll suck like the sawdust and stuff out. It's super convenient. And I have it by the garage door. So whenever my kids, like almost every single day, get the car filthy, you just pull the car up, pull out your 30-foot shop vac hose. It's already mounted right here. All you gotta do is flip it on and then clean out your car, you know, whatever. And if you do for some reason want to take the shop vac off the wall, you know, you want to take your vacuum for a walk or something, comes off just like that, take it somewhere, put it right back on. Accidentally hit the button. And so it doesn't have to be the Hoover Gov, because I think they don't actually make those anymore. Alan has another brand, I don't remember what it is, but I'll find one, I'll link to it in the description. But a wall-mounted shop vac up out of the way with a really long, easy to use hose is a great thing to have in your garage. And so that brings us to the giveaway. So this is a thread checker. It allows you to check the threads of your bolts or nuts. So for example, this bolt right here is M8 by 1.25. And now I know that and I can do whatever I want with that information. So there are lots of thread checkers out there. This one is clearly the best one. It is large. It has more holes and studs than the other thread checkers have. And if you go to an Ace Hardware, you've seen these before, you know about them, you use them. There's other thread checkers out there that are not as good. They have less information on them. There's ones that come in like key ring sort of things, and those are just a hassle to keep around. But we're giving away one of these again. And so the way this came to be is a long time ago, I ordered one for myself and it actually came in a 6-pack. And I was like, dang, I accidentally ordered a 6-pack. Come to find out, they accidentally sent me 6, but what I did is I started giving them away. So to family, friends, that sort of stuff. And then what happened is I give them away to y'all. So we had a drawing on the first garage organization video where I moved into the 2-car garage. And that video got hundreds of thousands of views. And I don't know if it's because it was about garage organization or because we gave away a thread checker, because it happened again in the garage organization 102 video where we moved into the shop, organized all this stuff, and gave away my last thread checker. So I just said I gave them all away, right? Here's the thing, I ordered one more. It's in the mail. Apparently there was like a small hurricane or something and it's stuck in Nashville right now, but it should be here later this week. And whenever it gets here, you have the chance to win it. So the way this is gonna work is to enter to win, you need to leave a comment in the comment section below, something about a thread checker. It can just be the words thread checker. It can be witty. You don't get points for being witty. We're gonna choose the winner at random 1 week from the day this video airs. You have until midnight that day to leave a comment. So the date and time on the screen right now. If it's after that, don't leave a comment about a thread checker. There's still people doing it from the last 2 videos, but you guys will learn this time, right? And so this is kind of an experiment, kind of a test. Like if this video does as well as the last 2 garage organization videos where we gave away a thread checker, we might do it more often. Like people want these things real bad. I don't know why. I mean, they're awesome, of course, but for some reason, people just go nuts over these things. So if y'all make this video do well, you know, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment about a thread checker, make sure you're subscribed. You have to be subscribed too. And one exactly like this, but maybe slightly wet from being in the hurricane could be on the way to your doorstep. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed the video, and the fridge is now cold and stocked, so I'm going to go get a nice frosty. Hey, who stocked this thing?